No matter where you live today, this is where you came from. The Great Rift Valley of Tanzania, the cradle of humanity, and of all the people alive today, none live as our earliest ancestor once did, quite like the Hadza Bay. They are one of the last true hunter-gatherers on earth. In a world shaped by cities, agriculture and industry, only a few hundred Hadza Bay still rely entirely on nature's resources, living without farms, livestock or permanent settlements. Our search for human origin begins not in books or museums, but here with the people still practicing the oldest way of life. To trace back our past, we start with those alive today, constructing a family tree through time. Genetically speaking, the Hadza Bay trace back to the first people to live in East Africa. They have lived in this place for hundreds of thousands of years, continuously connected to the land. Yet, in today's world, few remain as closely tied to nature as they are. The Hadza Bay do not own the land. To them, it belongs to the animals, the trees, the spirits of those who came before. They are only borrowing it for a time. We, the Hadza Bay, live in the forest. We build our houses here in the bush. We wake up in the morning and go hunting. We do not farm. We do not keep cattle. The forest gives us everything we need. But today, their way of life is under threat. The Hadza Bay face an agrarian crisis, a political crisis, a development crisis. Land that has sustained them for generations is being lost to farming, conservation projects, and modern expansion. They have lived here longer than any other group of people has lived in one place on earth. When the Egyptian pyramids were completed, the Hadza Bay had already been here for over 50,000 years. And now, that ancient way of life stands on the brink of extinction. For thousands of years, they have eaten only what they hunt and gather. Today, they taste something different. And soon, they will experience something else for the first time. For us, these things are ordinary, but for them, they are new, strange, and familiar. And yet, in the grand history of humankind, it is not the Hadza Bay who are new, it is us. Life here is simple, yet demanding. Every day begins with the same purpose, finding food. The Hadza Bay do not farm, they do not raise cattle, they take only what nature provides, surviving as humans once did for thousands of years. Hunting is their way of life, their deepest tradition. Each step, each movement is guided by instinct and knowledge passed down through generations. When we wake up in the morning, we go into the forest. It has never happened that a day goes by without us getting meat. The land gives us what we need. We just have to know where to look. The kudu passed here. See, the print is fresh, maybe an hour ago. Their knowledge of the land is unmatched. They read the ground, the wind, the calls of birds. They move with precision, their bows ready. My father taught me how to hunt when I was a boy. First, you must learn the animals, how they walk, where they drink water, what they eat. You must be patient. The animal does not see you, does not hear you until it is too late. A single shot, well placed, can bring down even the largest animal. We hunt monkeys, antelopes, buffaloes, and birds. The poison works fast, but we follow the animal to be sure. Nothing is wasted. We eat the meat, we use the hide, and we share with everyone. Hunting is not only about skill, it is about respect. The Hadza take only what they need, never more. There is no storage, no stockpiling for the future. The land provides and they trust it will always do so.
Mabuyu, matunda.
When there is no meat, we eat from the trees. The baobab is our strongest food. It gives us strength and it never runs out. Even when the rains do not come, the baobab is always here.
Ako Michael, itlima, itlima nitame. Ako Mako, itlima nitame.
The Hadza diet changes with the season. When meat is scarce, they rely on berries, tubers, and honey. They know which plants heal, which roots can be eaten, which trees will bear fruit even in the driest months. Honey is our favorite. When we find it, we are happy. The bees do not like us, but we are faster. We take what we need and leave the rest. This is life for the Hadza, a constant cycle of hunting, gathering, moving with the land. There are no fixed home, no farm, no cattle, just the earth beneath their feet and the sky above their heads. But survival is not always easy. The land is changing. The world beyond the forest is closing in. Sometimes we find fewer animals. Sometimes the water is far. But we have always lived this way. The forest takes care of us. For now, the Hadza continue as they always have, living off the land, following the ways of their ancestors. But for how much longer? For them, hunting is not just a way to find food. It is a way of life. It is skill, tradition, and survival woven together. They hunt as their ancestors did, with bows carved from local trees and arrows tipped with poison. Every part of the hunt is precise, perfected through generations. Their weapons are simple yet deadly. The bows are made from the strong flexible wood of the comifera tree. The string, fashioned from animal sinew, can withstand the tension needed to bring down large animals, and the arrows, the deadliest tool of all. The poison is extracted from the desert rose plant. It seeps into the bloodstream of an animal, slowing it down, weakening it. A single well-placed shot is enough to bring down a kudu, a buffalo, even a lion. A skilled hunter does not rely on sight alone. He listens to the birds. He feels the wind. He sees what others cannot: the broken twig, the slight disturbance in the dirt, the hushed silence of the forest before an ambush. Lions can follow your tracks and find you where you are, so you must be very careful. When we hunt, we are not just looking for animals, we are also watching for what is watching us. When the shot is true, the animal does not suffer. The poison works quickly, but the hunt is not over yet. The hunter tracked the animal, moving fast through the undergrowth. Soon they find it, a large jungle goat. I encountered a leopard once and killed it. Its meat is delicious, but it is not like a goat. It fights back. You must be ready. The Hadza waste nothing. The meat will be roasted over an open fire. The hide will be used for clothing, for bedding. Even the bones will not go unused. But first, they must make fire. There are no matches here, no lighters. Fire is made by hand, by skill. It is an art passed down from father to son, mother to daughter. Without fire, there is no food. Without fire, there is no life. This is the way we have always cooked. We do not use spices, just fire and meat. It is enough. The first bite always goes to the hunter who made the kill. It is a sign of respect. Then the rest is shared, equally, fairly. There is no hoarding, no greed. In Hadza culture, food is for the tribe, not the individual. When we do not catch an animal, we eat baobab fruit, we eat honey, we eat what the land gives us. But when we do catch something, we celebrate. Tonight there is food. Tonight there is laughter. But tomorrow, the hunt begins again, because for the Hadza, the land does not give freely. It must be earned day after day, just as it has been for thousands of years. Among the Hadza, life is simple yet deeply rooted in tradition. Their customs have remained unchanged for generations, passed down not through book or written record, but through storytelling, through the spoken word. In Hadza society, there are no chiefs, no rulers. Decisions are made together, and every voice matters, but roles are well understood. Men hunt, women gather, and together they sustain their way of life.
Women do many things. We take care of the children, we gather food, we cook, the men hunt, yes, but we make sure there's always something to eat. Without us, there's no home.
For the men, the hunt is not just about food. It is about proving their worth, about securing their place in the community. And nowhere is this more important than in marriage. Among the Hadza, a man does not offer cattle or gold for a wife. Instead, he must prove himself through skill, through strength. He must bring honey and a male monkey to his in-laws, a test of his ability to provide. In our culture, the bride price is paid uniquely. We pay our in-laws by killing monkeys and bringing honey to them. This is how we show we are ready, that we can take care of a wife or family. Honey is sacred. It is not just food. It is a gift, a symbol of sweetness, of prosperity. To bring honey is to bring life. But the second part of the test is more difficult. A man must hunt a monkey, a creature quick, clever, and hard to catch. It is not just about the hunt, it is about patience, about skill, about determination. When I love a woman, I kill a male monkey and bring a container of honey to my in-laws. That is the way it has always been. If a man cannot do this, how will he feed his children? How will he keep his family strong? With the test complete, the man can now take a wife. But marriage among the Hadza is not like marriage in the outside world. There are no grand ceremonies, no contracts. A man and a woman simply decide. They belong together, and so they do.
We choose each other. That is all. There is no priest, no papers, just us. If we are happy, we stay. If not, we go our own way.
It is a system built on freedom, on mutual respect. There are no forced union, no dowries, only the simple understanding that life is better when shared. We do not write things down. We tell stories. That is how we remember. That is how we teach. If we forget, then we are lost. Among the Hadza, knowledge is not taught in schools. It is not written in books. It is spoken, shared, passed from elder to child, generation to generation. Even their language, Hadzane, is not meant for writing. It is purely oral. You can't write it. It lives in the voice, in the rhythm of speech, in the memory of those who speak it. They learn by watching, by listening. They learn the names of every plant, every animal. They learn how to track, how to find water, how to make fire. They learn the songs of their people. The stories of their ancestors. For the Hadza, life is not measured in wealth, but in knowledge, in skill, in the strength of their community. We live together, we eat together, we move together. We do not own land. The forest is our home. We take care of it, and it takes care of us. This is the way the Hadza have lived for thousands of years, a life of simplicity, of tradition, of deep connection to the land and to each other. But the world outside is changing, and soon they may have to change with it. For the Hadza, the land is not something to own, it is something to respect, to move through, to live with. Unlike the outside world, where borders and fences divided people, the Hadza roam freely as they always have. The earth beneath their feet is their home, and it always will be. They do not build permanent houses. They do not mark their territory. The land does not belong to them. They belong to the land. We do not own land. We roam the forests. Wherever there is food, wherever there is water, that is where we stay. When the land no longer provides, we move. That is our way. The Hadza take only what they need, never more. There are no stores, no storage, no waste. If there is food, they eat. If there is none, they wait, knowing that the land will provide again. But this deep connection to nature is not just about survival, it is spiritual. It is woven into their stories, their songs, their tradition, and it is never more present than in death. When a Hadza dies, there are no stone markers, no monuments. Their bodies return to the earth, just as their ancestors did before them. They believe that death is not an end, but a return. The soul does not stay, but moves on, joining the spirit of the land, the wind, the animals. When one of our members dies, we bury them and then move to build new settlements elsewhere. It is bad luck to stay. The spirits must be left in peace. And so they move on. A new home, a new settlement. They do not mourn as others do. There are no long rituals, no elaborate ceremonies. To them, death is simply part of life, a cycle that has continued for thousands of years. The Hadza do not hold on to the past. They live in the present, moving forward, always forward. Their way of life has endured for generations, unchanged, untouched, but the world around them is shifting. The land they have called home for thousands of years is disappearing, and soon they may have nowhere left to go. For thousands of years, the Hadza have lived as their ancestors did, hunting, gathering, moving freely with the land. But now that land is disappearing. Farming, conservation laws, and modern settlements are pushing them to the edges of their own home. The forests are thinning. The animals are moving further away. The balance that has sustained them for generations is shifting. Farming is taking over. The land is disappearing. Where there used to be animals, there are now fields. The trees where we found honey, where we found shelter, they are gone. Once, the Hadza could move freely, following the rhythm of the seasons. Now, the land is divided. Ownership is claimed. And with each passing year, there is less and less space for their way of life. There are fewer animals now. We must walk further and further to hunt. Sometimes we return with nothing. In the past, this did not happen. The land gave us what we needed. Now, it is different. The government calls it progress, but for the Hadza, it is something else. Here, in these settlements, they do not hunt, they do not gather. Some take small jobs, working for farmers or selling beads to tourists. Others simply sit, waiting. This is not their way. Our elders were decimated by disease. Even when you go hunting, you go alone. It is not like before. Some of us stay in the village, but we are not happy there. We are Hadza. We belong to the land. For many, the choice is clear. They leave the villages. They return to the forest, to the life they know. But even in the wild, they are not safe. New laws restrict where they can hunt. Conservation areas once open to them are now off limits. Poaching laws meant to protect endangered animals have instead criminalized their way of life. They say we cannot hunt here. They say it is illegal, but this is our home. This is how we have always lived. If we cannot hunt, how will we survive? To outsider, they are trespassers, poachers, but to the Hadza, they are simply hunters, doing what their fathers and grandfathers did before them. The world is closing in, and for the first time, the Hadza face a future where their way of life may not survive. What happens when the last hunter-gatherers can no longer hunt? When the forests are gone? When the animals have disappeared? For the Hadza, the answer is uncertain, but one thing is clear: the world they have known for generations is vanishing, and with it, a part of all of us. The Hadza have lived this way for thousands of years, moving with the seasons, taking only what they need, living in harmony with the land. But how much longer can they hold on? As the world changes, so do the pressures upon them. The forests grow smaller, the rivers run dry, the laws tighten, the choices narrow. And the question lingers, will the Hadza survive? They say we must change. They say we cannot live like this forever. But if we do not hunt, if we do not move with the land, then who are we? We are not like the others. We do not want their way of life. We do not want to own land, to build walls. We want to live as we always have. But now it is harder. Every year it is harder. To some, adaptation means survival. To others, it means loss. If they stay in villages, they lose their freedom. If they return to the forest, they risk being pushed out. There is one hope: recognition. The Hadza must be given the right to their land. They must be protected not just as people, but as a way of life that carries the memory of humankind's earliest ancestors. We do not ask for much, only this land. This is our home. This is where we belong. If you take it, you take everything from us. We do not know the future, but we know this: we will not disappear. As long as the land is here, as long as the animals still run, as long as the fire still burns, we will be here. We are Hadza. The world moves forward. Cities rise, roads cut through the wilderness. But here, under the open sky, in the heart of Africa, a people still live as they once did, as all of us once did. And perhaps in their struggle to survive, they remind us of something we have long forgotten. The Hadza continue to fight for their land and their right to live as hunter-gatherers. Their future remains uncertain. What happens next will determine if one of the last free people on earth can continue their way of life, or if they will fade into history. Nameless Campus was here, and this is Afrimax English. Remember to subscribe.